Hey everybody, how's it going? Playoff hype time, baby. I'm really excited about tonight's game. So we got 30 minutes plus whatever warm-up time to game time. Figured I would hop on here and help satisfy some of that that nervous energy that you guys got going on. Oh, we got Odell Beckham Jr. in here. I'm back with some fresh sound effects. Any Seinfeld fans? We got some Family Guy. So, all right. So let's hope the Yankees can get through this two-game series flawlessly. Flawless 2 games. If they play up to their abilities, they should be able to win both games. Look, the Indians have some pretty good pitching. They have some really good starting pitching. But their offense is nothing to be excited about. They have Francisco Lindor, who's good, but he can be pitched to right now. And let's not forget, the Yankees have a dominant pitcher on the mound who knows how to pitch around certain guys. Now, will the ego of Garrett Cole force him to pitch to guys in situations where he may not otherwise pitch to guys, or where it may not be a smart move to pitch to guys? We'll see. But right now, if you pitch around their best hitters, the rest of this team can be pitched to. The entire Indians team has a lower OPS than Mike Tauchman. That should tell you all you need to know about this Indians offense. Now, the pitching is a different story. They've got some of the best pitching in the league, but the Yankees have a really good offense. So with all things being equal, it's going to come down to does good pitching beat good hitting, and we're going to find out. What's up, Gucci? So I'm really, really looking forward to tonight's game. I just wanted to hop on here and see what everybody else's predictions were. I thought it's outrageous that Brett Gardner is starting over Clint Frazier tonight. I don't know if you guys have seen the lineup yet, but Brett Gardner is in there over Clint Frazier, who was basically the Yankees' hottest hitter over the final, well, maybe not over the final, but for a large portion of this season. Clint Frazier was one of the best hitters on the Yankees. And Brett Gardner, who was abysmal this year, gets the start. Absolutely atrocious. I just got done watching the interview, the pregame interview with Luke Voigt. You know, he was hurt last year during the postseason. He had that abdominal surgery for a hernia. And apparently, he's pretty pumped to actually be playing this year. All right, so here we go. So what are we talking about? Gardner? Are we saying Gardner was red hot? I didn't think Gardner was red hot. Clint was 1 for 20. Yeah, I mean, you can't really. You can take small sample sizes out. I think Gardner being pumped up against the Indians, a team that drafted him, that here he is on the screen. In fact, I can go to an all Clint Frazier reel as we talk about Clint Frazier. Boom. I feel like Clint Frazier playing against the team that drafted him, against the team that traded him, would have been a great spark under Clint Frazier. You can't sit a guy every time he has a slump and expect him to show up when you put him back in there. That's so bad for a player's confidence. It's so bad for a player's rhythm. It's unfair to the player. And Clint Frazier, I think, did enough this season, offensively and defensively, to warrant starting in this game. So, in my opinion, if I'm Clint Frazier, I would be just absolutely pissed off. So let's talk about Giancarlo Stanton here. Let's throw up the Stanton reel. Giancarlo Stanton is playing for his rep. Before Giancarlo Stanton got to the Yankees, he was on a Marlins team that was pretty bad. So he hasn't had a lot of chances to play in the postseason. But when he has, he's played pretty well. Now, during the regular season, he's been hurt more than he has been on the field. Let's be honest with that. His first season with the Yankees, he actually played in about 158 games, I think. But last year was a washout. I think he played in 18 games. This year was pretty much a washout. He got off to a hot start, but after he got hurt, he did nothing down the stretch. So, he's playing for his reputation. He wants to be considered one of those, top-tier playoffs. All right, Jack Arnold, just for you, I'm going to get out the lineup here. we're going to go over the lineup for tonight's game. It'll take me a second to pull it up. How's everybody doing out there today? Let's see here. Well, it just has it on MLB TV. Let me pull up Reddit and see. All right, DJ LeMahieu leading off at second base. Aaron Judge in right field, batting second. Aaron Hicks batting third in center field. Luke Voigt, American League home run leader, batting fourth at first base. Batting fifth, Giancarlo Stanton at DH. Batting sixth, Gio Urshela, former Indian. He was on that 2017 team that the Yankees upset, and I'll play a little bit of clip from that before the game starts. And then batting seventh, Gleyber Torres. Strange to see him batting seventh. He had a really bad year. You could argue going into the season that he was probably going to be the Yankees' number 3 hitter. I know he was, in the show. Batting eighth, Brett Gardner over Clint Frazier, playing left field. At least you'll get, possibly a slight defensive edge. And then batting ninth, Kyle Higashioka, the custom catcher, the personal catcher for Garrett Cole. Let's go with this one. So, no, Domingo Germán is not back. Domingo Germán was suspended for domestic violence last season. He was suspended for 63 games. The season was 60 games long. And when you're suspended, you can't be with the team and get ready. It's not like you just can't play. You can't even be with the ball club. You can't be at any of their facilities, any of that stuff. So Domingo Germán has spent the entire winter in his hometown. I think it's in the Dominican. And he will not rejoin the Yankees until spring training. I agree with you. I really feel like the Yankees need to go for 2 in a row. Double kill. And just get the Indians out of the way. The Yankees can do it. If they play well, they can definitely double kill the Indians. So, okay. So when you're suspended for the, all regular season games, but he didn't play the entire season. Do you want him to just go back in there and pitch? He hasn't thrown. He hasn't faced live hitters. And he really wasn't that great when he pitched for the Yankees. I know he was 18-4, but his ERA was over 4. Domingo Germán is overrated. We'll see him next year. I'm with you, Jack. I don't know why the Yankees chose Gardner over Frazier. Samuel Jacobowitz had a really good point on here. He said that Gardner finished off hot, and Clint was 1 for 20 to end the year. Clint Frazier is also a right-hander. The pitcher is a right-hander. And Brett Gardner's a lefty, so that could be part of it. But Brett Gardner, in my opinion, after early on this season when he flashed a little bit of power, he really hasn't done much. I really haven't been impressed with Brett Gardner this year. What's up, Harrison? You're awesome too. All right, I got to get some good sound, some new sounds up here. Let's see, we got giggity. I'm going to download some new sounds during the game. Let's get a little background music here. All right. So what are you guys' predictions? Go ahead and post them in the chat, and I will respond. It could be as granular as who you think is going to play well, or as grand as Yankees are going to sweep, Yankees are going to lose 2 in a row. What do you think? I want to hear your projections. We got 22 minutes until game time. And just a reminder, I will be back after the game to live stream with my impressions on the game, all the topics, recaps, all that stuff. I don't think I'm going to be able to have highlights. I might be able to show them. We'll see how the game goes. If it gets, one-sided, I might be able to grab a few highlights. But, everybody who's going to be on live streaming is going to watch the game anyway, so we can just talk about it. I'm not seeing any predictions come through. Let's see. 5-1 Yankees. I like it. Yankees all the way. Expectations for Judge, considering his great postseason record but slow return from injury. I think Aaron Judge is due. So Aaron Judge, when he's swinging the bat well and healthy, he's as deadly as anybody. And he was red hot before he got hurt. And, obviously since he's come back, he hasn't been swinging the bat well, but I don't think it's because of an injury. If it was like an oblique thing, you remember last year when he came back from the oblique injury, it took him a long time to really start turning on the ball. And so he didn't pull a home run for almost the entire season. but we saw him rip a ball that was up and in, a fastball down the left field line the other day. He's been chopping the ball a little bit. That tells me he's a little bit late. But hopefully these, several games that he's had to see live pitching will get him ready. And I feel like Aaron Judge is about ready to break out. All right, so we got 3-1 Yankees game 1, 7-5 Indians game 2, 2-0 Yankees game 3. Oh, we're going with the shutout in game 3 with Jay Happ on the mound. I like it. That's a bold prediction. 20 minutes. I have a little postseason tradition. I always wear the jersey of if they're away, I'll wear the gray jersey. If they're home, I'll wear the pinstripes. I've been doing it since 1995. So it's a little tradition here. 7-2 win. 7-2 against Beebs. I don't know about that. That's going to be a tough one. If we go 7-2, then you'll get... I'll make sure you get recognition. Adrian, what makes you think that Cole's going to go with the changeup more? Just curious. I feel like he's going to be pounding the fastball a lot. I feel like he's going to be working the way he usually works. Hard fastballs up in the zone, hard breaking balls down in the zone. But whatever he has to do to make it work. All right, we got another sweep coming in. Lori, Garrett Cole has done a nice job of keeping the ball in the park over the last, I guess, 4 or 5 starts since he started working with Higashioka. If you've noticed, if you look at his stats from each game, his home runs allowed have gone down as the season has gone on. I think part of that is he's getting a little bit more zip on the fastball up in the zone. He's able to throw it by guys, and also he's getting a little bit sharper break on the breaking ball. And part of that comes from his explosiveness through the zone. I did a recap video probably about a month and a half ago after Garrett Cole was really struggling. And you could tell that the windup was the same until he got about halfway through his windup, and then he was maybe landing just a little bit quicker, not driving through the zone quite as much in the early part of the season. But since he's changed that up, he's been very, very good. Is Garcia starting game 4, or is he in the bullpen? Is Montgomery in the bullpen? So there is no game 4. This is a best of 3 series in the wild card round. If we go all 3 games, it really depends on when game 4, the game 1 of the next round starts. If the Yankees are in it, who will start? It would not surprise me to see Deivi Garcia if Garrett Cole is wiped, but they might go with Garrett Cole on 3 days rest if that's an option. So we got a lot of Yankees in 2. Here. Adrian Acevedo. Whole bunch of ones. 6-4 Yankees tonight. You guys are calling for a lot of runs. I think it's going to be 3-1. 3-1 Yankees. It could go 3-1 either way, though. It's going to be a really, really tight game, which I like. Those games are tight. I love sitting on the edge of my seat and just kind of like being absorbed. Oh, we're saying it's the Gardy party. I'm kind of, Alexander Krause is calling Indians. Thinks the Indians are going to win. I don't think the Yankees must win. I've never been a believer in that you must win any game unless it's your final game, because we've seen teams come back, right? In 2017, which I'm going to show in just a few minutes, at 6:50, I'm going to play a new feature that's going to take us out of this broadcast. This is not a new feature, but it's a recap of the 2017 ALDS in which the Yankees upset the Indians. I'm going to play a little bit of a feature to lead us up to game time, but I think that, as long as you have life, you can come back. Momentum is as strong as your next day's starting pitcher. AJ says, I hate the lineup because no Frazier. I agree with you. I wish Frazier was in there. I think Frazier playing in front of... Let's see. Frazier in front of the team and the crowd, or there's no crowd, but in front of the team that traded him, and drafted him, he was going to play with a bit of a chip on his shoulder. And Clint Frazier's a guy who, it's no coincidence that as soon as he gets called up, he usually catches fire. And I feel like that's because he's got something to prove. He's playing with a bit of a chip on his shoulder. And I feel like that would have happened tonight. But Aaron Boone Missing an opportunity. I bet you like Stanton in the 5-hole. Judge is going to hit a grand slam. That is a bold prediction. I'll pull this up. I'll pull this up tomorrow and make note of it if he does. You got to put 3 guys on base, and it's got to be after the first inning. So you're limiting your options by saying Judge is going to hit a grand slam. Indians are hot. Indians have played well. I do remember when Greg Bird hit the home run. Greg Bird, it was off of Andrew Miller in 2017, and I'm going to show that in just a few minutes when I do the recap of that video. Let's see, 11K for Bieber, 13 for Garrett Cole. Tanaka comes up big tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Masahiro Tanaka. I need to get some Tanaka sounds on here. Let's try this. All right. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have the bases loaded at any point either. I think this is going to be a really tight game. This should be a really quick game. I know postseason games are generally, they get drawn out. But a lot of that is, mound visits and things like that. There's not as many of those anymore. And, a lot of times in the postseason, the bullpen makes a difference. And, yeah, I'm with you, Alexander. The Indians' offense is bad, but on any given night, any one pitch can make the difference. So we'll see how it goes. Game 3, 2017. So that was the game Masahiro Tanaka pitched, right? It was Masahiro Tanaka. I forget, maybe Carlos Carrasco for the Indians. And the Yankees took a 1-0 lead on a Greg Bird home run late in the game off of Andrew Miller. And went up 1-0. And then Tommy Kahnle, I think, shut it down for the last 6. Who do you think hits a home run tonight for the Yankees? I was going to say Clint Frazier. But right now I'm going with DJ LeMahieu, leadoff home run. DJ LeMahieu, leadoff home run. What inning is it? I'm not watching the Jays game. Rays are just disgusting. The Rays are going to be trouble. They're going to be a real problem. Luke Voit got to take charge. Yeah, I mean, home run hitter. Look. He was just given an interview. I was just talking about a few minutes ago before everybody got on. He was given an interview before the game where he was talking about how pumped he is to play this year because last year he basically had to sit out the postseason because he had that hernia problem. So I feel like he wants to make a statement. He's still playing for a contract too. He's not signed long term. So Luke Voigt's got a real chance to do something fun. I got to get a Luke Voit Rio up here. I don't have one for Luke Voit. Let me see if I can get one of those up real quick. Let's see here. Is the Jays a sleeper? No, the Jays are not going to win anything this year. Sorry. I just don't see it happening. All right, we're going to add Luke Voit up here. Boom, talk about Luke Voit. So Luke Voit this has been a career year for Luke Voit. He's got 22 home runs, and he's been playing on an injured foot, so he might do even better next year. All right, this is a good one. Want to see Giancarlo play and not his evil twin Giancarlo. Who do you think the Yankees' biggest injury is besides injuries? I don't understand the question. Let's see. I think we'll have a scoreless game until the 4th. Indians draw first blood, and the Yankees get to Bieber in the 5th. I think it's going to be zeros until about the 7th inning, and then I think the Yankees are going to get to Bieber in the 7th. That's a good point, Robert. Bieber has never started in the postseason, and the Yankees are a tough lineup. I know the Yankees have been up and down with the offense this year, but they are a really, really good lineup. They were on pace for about 276 home runs this year, even with their slump and their homerless streak. All right, Luke Voit hitting a home run. We'll see. Who thinks the Yankees are going to sweep?
Double kill.
I think the Yanks are going to take 2 in a row. I really do. I think it's going to be tight. And Jackson, that's a really good point. A lot of times with these starting pitchers, what you've got to do is jump on them early, especially these power pitchers. A lot of times the adrenaline can get you, and your accuracy won't be pinpoint right off the bat. Hey, appreciate it, Carson. Appreciate it. That's gangsta. So Aaron says, what do you need Gardy to do to justify benching Frazier? I mean, he's just got to play well. Anybody who plays well. All right, look, I'm going to get ready for the game. I'm going to put up a quick video about the 2017 ALDS, with the Yankees and Indians, because I think we need some good mojo. I will be back after the game. On paper, it seemed like a mismatch. The Cleveland Indians, managed by former Red Sox skipper Terry Francona, had just won 102 games in 2017 and seemed to be getting stronger as the season went along. In September, they polished off a 22-game win streak. This was the longest win streak in the major leagues since 1916, when the New York Giants won 26 in a row. They were an imposing powerhouse, led by shortstop Francisco Lindor, third baseman Jose Ramirez, first baseman Carlos Santana, and 2017 Cy Young Award winner Corey Kluber, who posted a 2.25 ERA and was basically unhittable for most of the season. As if that wasn't enough, they also had Carlos Carrasco, who was 18-6 with a 3.29 ERA, and a 26-year-old Trevor Bauer, who was having his first big season. The Yankees, meanwhile, were the 2017 American League wildcard winner, having defeated the Twins in the wildcard game, and they finished the season with a 91-71 record, led by manager Joe Girardi, with rookie right fielder the Honorable Aaron James Judge presiding. The Yankees arrived in Cleveland as the clear underdogs. With the Indians holding the best record in the American League, they had home field advantage in the division series, which opened up on October 5th, 2017, in front of their home crowd of 37,612.
Part of a second-half resurgence for Chase. Breaking ball hit into the gap in left center field. Kipnis laying and making the catch.
The Tribe was led by Trevor Bauer in Game 1, who spun 6 2/3 innings of shutout ball, striking out 8 and leading the Indians to a 4-0 victory. Yankees legend Sonny Gray, acquired at the trade deadline for prospects, took the loss in typical Sonny Gray fashion, allowing 3 runs and 4 walks in 3 1/3 innings. The Indians take Game 1 4-0.
Comes a swing and a miss. Ball game.
Game 2 was possibly the Yankees' most devastating loss of the entire season. With Corey Kluber on the mound, the Indians were heavy favorites to go up 2-0 in the series, but Gary Sanchez took him deep in the first inning, and Aaron Hicks took him deep in the third inning, giving the Yankees a 6-3 advantage. The Yankees would increase their lead in the 5th inning when Greg Bird launched a 2-run home run.
Drive to right field. Bruce gives this one a look, and this one is gone!
However, in the bottom of the 6th, Girardi failed to challenge a call that may have been overturned, leading to a grand slam from Francisco Lindor, cutting the lead to 8-7. The Indians would tie the game in the bottom of the 8th on a home run by Jay Bruce, and then walked it off in the bottom of the 13th to win Game 2.
Base hit into the corner. Here comes Jackson. The Indians win it.
Taking a 2-0 series lead. Back in New York, radio callers debated if Girardi should keep his job or not, while Masahiro Tanaka prepared to pitch the biggest game of his Yankees career to that point. He did not disappoint. Aided by the glove of Aaron Judge,
Field, Judge back at the wall, reaches up and makes the catch!
And the bat of Greg Bird, who would have the biggest moment of his Yankees career, Tanaka spun 7 shutout innings, and the Yankees cut the proverbial Russian.
He's cut! He's cut! Russian's cut, and it's a bad cut!
The Yankees took Game 3, 1-0. Game 4 was all New York. Luis Severino bounced back from his terrible wildcard performance to throw 7 great innings, striking out 9 on a heroic 113 pitches. In the second, Aaron Judge's 2-run double made it 4-0 Yankees, and Gary Sanchez polished off the night with a solo home run in the 6th.
Sanchez to the opposite field and well hit. And gone!
Giving the Yankees a 7-3 lead, which they would not relinquish. The tides had turned, the series was even, but the Yankees still had to go back to Cleveland to face the American League's best pitcher in a decisive Game 5, Corey Kluber. The Yankees wasted no time shutting down the imposing Cleveland crowd in Game 5, with Didi Gregorius smashing 2 home runs off of Corey Kluber, 1 in the first inning and 1 in the 3rd inning.
Gregorius again! He got it for the second time!
Giving the Yankees a 3-0 lead. The Indians, though, would not go down without a fight. They sliced into the lead with 4 straight one-out singles in the 5th, cutting the deficit to 3-2.
Into right field once again! Urshela shortens up and punches an RBI single the other way.
CC Sabathia was out of the game, and it was up to the Yankees' vaunted bullpen to hold the lead. And that they would. With the score still 3-2 in the top of the 9th, Brett Gardner worked the at-bat of his career, a 12-pitch at-bat before knocking in Aaron Hicks on a single through the right side, which also allowed Todd Frazier to score on an errant throw, giving the Yankees a 5-2 lead. In the bottom of the 9th, Aroldis Chapman entered the game. Aroldis had served up a 3-run home run in Game 7 of the World Series the previous year against the Indians, and I'm sure a lot of Indians fans had that on their mind. The Indians went down scoreless, though, and the Yankees finished off the series 3-2. The Yankees would go on to battle the eventual world champions for 7 games, ultimately falling short of an underdog World Series dream. History will remember that series not so much for what happened on the field, but much more for what happened behind the scenes. A cheating scandal which led to suspensions, job losses, and a black eye for the city of Houston and their franchise, and maybe even the sport of baseball. And while the destination was not what the Yankees or their fans had hoped for, the journey was quite a ride.